Hi again, everybody. Welcome into the Week 17 edition of Peacocks on the Prowl. Zach Carlyle here with you. And today we're talking Peacock track and field. For that, we're pleased to be joined by freshman Kenzie Sokken. And Kenzie, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's start with a couple of weeks ago, the NSIC MIAA showdown down there in Maryville, Missouri. Heptathlon for you, breaking the school record, 4,021 points for you. Let's start with that. Talk about what that was like for you and being a part of so many different events down there in Maryville.
When Coach first asked me if I wanted to do the multis, I was a little bit overwhelmed just because a lot of the events I hadn't done either since like my sophomore year of high school or never before. So, I mean, I was a little bit nervous about that. Certainly didn't expect to go in and break any school records, but I'm glad that I did. It was an awesome experience, and it was a lot of fun. So
year one for you here at Upper Iowa, but a two-sport athlete, you just don't see that a lot anymore for you, playing volleyball in the fall, the indoor season in the winter, the outdoor season here in the spring. You're constantly moving and always playing and always competing. What's that been like for you, playing both the sports here at the Division II level here at Upper Iowa?
it can be a little wild, and it's easy to get overwhelmed sometimes, especially when you add like social life and class on top of all that. But I think it's important for me just to remember where I'm supposed to be and when I'm supposed to be there. And when I'm on the volleyball court, I focus on volleyball. When I'm out on the track, it's about track and trying to minimize the overlap between those two and just be where I'm at when I'm there.
So for you, coming up in a couple of weeks, the NSIC Multis up in Mankato, Minnesota, and you know, a couple of weeks ago we talked about doing the HEP down in Missouri, so you get a little bit of preparation as you come into the NSICs. But what's that mindset going to be like for you as you prepare here? We're about about a week and a half away from the NSIC Multis.
Basically, just sharpening everything up. Getting the shot put in my hands a little bit more because that was the one event that I had never really done before, and then just cleaning things up in every event, making sure that things are tight and ready to go for the conference.
And the multis. Different than a normal track and field event with the team. Just you going up there from Upper Iowa representing the Peacocks. So tell us a little bit about the process that will take place when you head up there to Mankato.
Yeah, so we'll get to the track about an hour and a half early, and I'll start focusing on the first event, which is the 100-meter hurdles, and that's always fun. Just focusing on getting over that first hurdle, and then I'm good to go from there. And then after every event, I get 5 minutes to be either really happy about it or really pissed off about it, depending on how I do. So after the hurdles, I'll switch mindsets to the high jump, which is probably one of my better events. It's what I was recruited to come here and do in the first place. So I'll get ready for that. And then after that, I'll get ready for the shot put, which is not my best event, but I actually did really well last time because I didn't do well in the high jump. So that fueled my anger. I could just kind of launch the shot put out there, so that was good. And then after that, I'll get ready for the 200, and I love the 200. It's just fun to go out there and kind of let loose, run. And then that's the first day, just those 4 events. So then I'll go carb load, get some good pasta or something like that, and then the next morning, so the first day's in the afternoon, and then the next morning we start about usually 10 o'clock, and that starts with long jump. And then after long jump, I'll go to javelin, which is a lot of fun. I like javelin. And then my least favorite of all the events, the 800, is last. So just kind of mentally preparing for that race.
Is that 800 always in the back of your mind?
Always. From like this, even on the bus ride up there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready for this 800. Like, I'm going to get smoked. But it actually isn't that bad because I'd never run an 800 before a couple weeks ago. And doing it on the track and having other girls out there, it makes it a lot easier. So
you talked about the shot put being something you hadn't done in a while. You kind of learn that. So you got one of your events that you're not looking forward to, and then it's followed up by an event that you love. What's that like, as you get ready for that kind of transition between those two events?
Preparing for an event that you're not necessarily the most confident in is kind of mentally challenging because you have to do it. Like, you have to get a mark in order to complete the multis. And so just being mentally tough and saying, like, okay, like, I don't have to score that many points in this area. I literally just have to throw it and get a mark and just kind of calming myself down, not putting a whole lot of pressure on the individual events, but looking at where I can score the most points in other places.
Well, this is the second year of this program being brought back in the outdoor program. 12 years they were away from campus, and then the university brings back track and field to compete indoor, outdoor, second year of the outdoor season. What's that like for you to be a part of this program that's being brought back here to Fayette?
It's something really unusual. Like, coming here, I didn't really know what to expect, and I was a little bit nervous. Like, obviously you're worried about, like, is it gonna leave again? Like, you know, that's always in the back of your mind, but I think it's something really special, and it's gonna be awesome these next few years to see how the program keeps growing, and I know there's some really good talent coming in next year, so I'm just excited to watch it grow and be a part of it.
Well, Kenzie, best of luck to you up there in Mankato in a couple of weeks of the Multis, and thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Kenzie Sokken with us. The rest of the Peacock track and field program will head up to St. Paul, Minnesota for the Holst Invite, and Kenzie will head to the NSIC Multis on April the 30th. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zach Carlyle. We'll talk to you next week on Peacocks on the Prowl.